Besem Ab, Wawald, Mefeskadus, Adawam like Amin. Besem Ab, Wawald, Mefeskadus, Adawam like Amin. Besem Ab, Wawald, Mefeskadus, Adawam like Amin. Yes, good morning and blessings and love, and hope everyone's doing well and woke up to positivity. No day is blessed, and none of us know what we're going to wake up to. So I pray whatever we face today, God is at the center and makes whatever happens today, positive, bearable, endurable, with God's guidance and blessings. So today's reading is Joshua 21. Give thanks. Then the heads of the fathers of the houses of the Levites came near to Eleazar the priest, and to Joshua the son of Nun, and to the heads of the fathers' houses of the tribes of the children of Israel. They spoke to them at Shiloh in the land of Canaan, saying, Yahweh commanded through Moses to give us cities to dwell in, with their pasture lands for our livestock. The children of Israel gave to the Levites out of their inheritance, according to the commandment of Yahweh, these cities with their pasture lands. The lot came out for the families of the Kohathites. The children of Aaron the priest, who were of the Levites, had 13 cities by lot out of the tribe of Judah, out of the tribe of Simeonites, and out of the tribe of Benjamin. The rest of the children of Kohath had 10 cities by lot out of the families of the tribe of Ephraim, out of the tribe of Dan, and out of the half-tribe of Manasseh. The children of Gershon had 13 cities by lot out of the families of the tribe of Issachar, out of the tribe of Asher, out of the tribe of Naphtali, and out of the half-tribe of Manasseh in Bashan. The children of Merari, according to their families, had 12 cities out of the tribe of Reuben, out of the tribe of Gad, out of the tribe of Zebulun. The children of Israel gave these cities with their pasture lands by lot to the Levites, as Yahweh commanded by Moses. They gave out of the tribe of the children of Judah and out of the tribe of the children of Simeon these cities which are mentioned by name, and they were for the children of Aaron and the families of the Kohathites, who were with the children of Levi, for theirs was the first lot. They gave them Kiriath Arba, named after the father of Anak, also called Hebron, in the hill country of Judah, with its pasture lands around it. But they gave the fields of the city and its villages to Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, for his possession. To the children of Aaron, the priest, they gave Hebron with its pasture lands, the city of refuge for the manslayer, Libnah with its pasture lands, Jattah with its pasture lands, Eshtemoa with its pasture lands, Holon with its pasture lands, Debir with its pasture lands, Ain with its pasture lands, Juttah with its pasture lands, and Beth Shemesh with its pasture lands. 9 cities out of the 2 tribes. Out of the tribe of Benjamin, Gibeon with its pasture lands, Geber with its pasture lands, Anatoth with its pasture lands, Almon with its pasture lands, 4 cities. All the cities of the children of Aaron the priest were 13 cities with their pasture lands. The families of the children of Kohath, the Levites, even the rest of the children of Kohath, with the cities of their lot, out of the tribe of Ephraim. They gave them Shechem with its pasture lands in the hill country of Ephraim, to the city of refuge for the manslayer, and Gezer with its pasture lands, Gibzan with its pasture lands, Beth Horon with its pasture lands, 4 cities. Out of the tribe of Dan, Eltek with its pasture lands, Gibbethon with its pasture lands, Ajalon with its pasture lands, Geth-Rimmon with its pasture lands, 4 cities. Out of the half-tribe of Manasseh, Tanakh with its pasture lands, Gath-Rimmon with its pasture lands, 2 cities. All the cities of the families of the rest of the children of Kohath were 10 of their pasture lands. They gave to the children of Gershon, of the families of the Levites, out of half-tribe of Manasseh, Golan, in Bashan with its pasture lands, the city of refuge for the manslayer, and Be-Hetara with its pasture lands, 2 cities. Out of the tribe of Issachar, Kishion with its pasture lands, Debarath with its pasture lands, Jeboth with its pasture lands, En-Gamin with its pasture lands, 4 cities. Out of the tribe of Asher, Mishal with its pasture lands, Abdon with its pasture lands, Helkath with its pasture lands, and Rehob with its pasture lands, 4 cities. Out of the tribe of Naphtali, Kedesh in Galilee with its pasture lands, the city of refuge for the manslayer. Hemothodor with its pasture lands, Kartan with its pasture lands, 3 cities. All the cities of the Gusharites, according to their families, and 13 cities with their pasture lands. To the family of the children of Merah, the rest of the Levites, and out of the tribe of Zebulun, Jokneam with its pasture lands, Karta with its pasture lands, Dimnah with its pasture lands, and Nahalal with its pasture lands, 4 cities. Out of the tribe of Reuben, Bezer with its pasture lands, Jahaz with its pasture lands, Kedemoth with its pasture lands, and Mehath with its pasture lands, 4 cities. Out of the tribe of Gad, Ramoth in Gilead with its pasture lands, the city of refuge for the manslayer, and Mahanaim with its pasture lands, Heshbon with its pasture lands, Jezer with its pasture lands, 4 cities in all. All these were the cities of the children of Merah, according to the families. Even the rest of the families of the Levites, their lot was 12 cities. All the cities of the Levites among the possessions of the children of Israel were 48 cities with their pasture lands. Each of these cities included the pasture lands around them. It was this way with all these cities. So Yahweh gave to Israel all the land which he swore to give to their fathers. They possessed it, they lived in it. Yahweh gave them rest all around, according to all that he swore to their fathers. Not a man of all their enemies stood before them. Yahweh delivered all their enemies into their hand. Nothing failed of any good thing which Yahweh had spoken of for the house of Israel. All came to pass. For these few words I give thanks, blessings, and love. So those final 4 words of this chapter, all came to pass. This is meaning that promise that Yahweh gave to Abraham 600, 700 odd years ago, at this point when this was written, has come to pass. The promise that Yahweh made to Abraham to say that I will give you the promised land, 600 and odd years later, all has come to pass, and Yahweh has fulfilled his promise. All of the enemies has been delivered into their hands. All of the people have been driven out of the lands, and all of the children of Israel, including now the Levites, are now secured within that space, and they all have their different territories. So that's a very important final 4 words. It was only 4 words, but it's incredibly powerful. All came to pass. And for me, it reminds me of then what Jesus Christos said at that point on the cross. You know, it is finished. All has been accomplished. It is accomplished. You know, just very short sentence, very short words, but it says so much, the completeness of all things. So this chapter, as you heard, deals with the children of the Levites, the priestly tribe. And as we've heard time and time again, the Levites don't get an inheritance in the same way that the other tribes get, because it's always said that Yahweh himself is the inheritance of the tribe of Levi. But still, they also still had to live somewhere. The other tribes were given lands, big plots of land. And when I say land, they're cities, they're mini countries, if you like. You know, they're huge areas to live in. So the Levites were spread throughout the lands of Israel, throughout the promised land, and they had 48 cities in total that were in the lands of the other tribes. So the tribe of Naphtali, for example, had certain cities within it that were where the Levites would reside. So they had 48 in total. That includes the 6 cities of refuge that we spoke about yesterday. And the idea is that the Levites are still the spiritual administrators for the whole of the nation. So wherever the Levites were, they would have head tabernacles, they would have head, tent of meetings, etc. Shiloh was still the central area where the main tent of meeting was. But the Levites in all of these 48 spaces were administering, sacrifices, Sabbath rituals, regular worship, etc. So they became the spiritual centers regionally throughout the whole of the Promised Land. So the allegorical interpretation of this is, as it says, with the 48 lands spread throughout the Promised Land, and again, thinking about that as our life, thinking about that as our body. Where are the spiritual centers in our life, in all aspects of our life? Where is the spiritual aspect in our work, in our leisure, in our eating, in our hobbies, in our creative practice? Where is it? The faculties within the body, faculties within our holy lives, the spreading out of the children of the Levites throughout the Promised Land represents these spiritual centers, these spiritual touchstones. And that's due to represent where are our spiritual touchstones and our spiritual landmarks in all aspects of our lives. But in order for the Levites to be functioning as the spiritual body that they're ordained to be, it's beholding on the rest of the tribes of Israel to offer the grace for them to have their cities, to have their areas, and for those cities to engage in those practices. So even though the Levites are tasked with the spiritual administration, it's still nothing without the participation of the rest of the nation. So again, we think about that in our own lives. That how do we enact spiritual practice in every aspect of our lives if we ourselves don't enact it and aren't proactive to enforce those activities? Are we waiting for some shining light to come to us to enact our spiritual lives, or are we meant to be walking towards it and actually being proactive to make it happen? And it's the latter. We're meant to be working towards it to make it happen. Because again, the Levites have no inheritance, so they are bound by the charity of the rest of the tribes of Israel to give them these 48 cities. So again, where is the charity in our own lives that we're given to our spiritual practice, which we're given to God, which we're given to Jesus Christos, allowing him to enter our lives? It can often, we feel like a one-way traffic where we're waiting for this divine intervention, we're waiting for God to enter our lives, when actually is for us to open ourselves and enter into God's life and enter into that embrace. So the message of this chapter, again, is not a passive element. The learning is that spiritual practice and religious practice in our lives isn't passive, that we actively have to make it happen. We have to make space for it. It's in the same way that the children of Israel made space for the Levites, made space 48 across the whole of the Promised Land on the east and on the west side of the River Jordan. We have to think about that in relationship to ourselves. And even when we don't think, okay, yeah, does spiritual practice that, when I'm out with my mates and, going to a club, spirituality still needs to exist there. There's no hiding place. There's no shadowy place. Spiritual practice is meant to exist in our lives 364 days of the year, 24/7, regardless of where we are, God is with us. God is with us, and we are taking God with us. So, yeah, there's a lot more that can be pulled out here, but I will leave it there. So have a blessed day. God bless you all. Hope anything that happens today is positive, and I pray that if anything is deemed to be not positive, that we're able to sustain it and endure it and come out through the rest of the day, into the night, into the day tomorrow, with still God at the center and having a clear vision of the way forward. So blessings and love, and God blessing. We'll be back more tomorrow for chapter 22. Glory to God.